Swamin namaste natalokabandho karunya sindho patitam bhavabdhau mamuddharatmiya kataksha drishtya rijvyati karunya sudhabhivrishtya Swamin namaste Swamin namaste Swamin namaste Swamin namaste Shanta mahanto nivasanti santo vasantavallokahitam charantaha tirna swayam bhima bhavarnavam janan ahetunanyanapitaryantaha brahmanandarasanubhuti kalitaihi putaistu shitairyutaihi युष्मद्वाक् कलशोज्झितैः श्रुतिसुखैः वाक्यामृतैः सेचया सन्तप्तं भवतापदावदहन ज्वालाभिरेणं प्रभो धन्यास्ते भवदीक्षणक्षणगतेः पात्रीकृता स्वीकृताः धन्यास्ते भवदीक्षणक्षणगतेः पात्रीकृताः स्वीकृताः. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. So today it is not interactive, it is interactive. Huh? So, okay, I will talk for some time and then you can ask questions. I get very nervous when you say interactive. Okay. See, in the last session, we discussed about the qualities that any seeker or aspirant must have, so that one can have the mind calm. And why do we have to have the qualities? Because we understand that in our life there is a lot of fear, anxiety, stress, strain, etc. And our scriptures tell us, like in the Bhagavad Gita, as you start, Swamini has been taking the classes, it is being said that for calmness of the mind, ought to attain peace and happiness, placidity of the mind, we must know our own self, the soul, which is inside us. And by mistake, we constantly think that I am this body, the limited, gross body, with a name, form, weight, qualifications, whatever acquisitions we have, we feel I am that. But actually, all these are changeful. Whether it is a body means body, mind, intelligence, ego, and everything else which is associated with the body, mind, intelligence, etc. Everything is changeful. And what is the soul or the self? Changeless. So, whereas our real identity is I am the imperishable, changeless, eternal self. I am absolutely fearless, unaffected. By mistake, we feel that we are not. So this, the real identity, the knowledge of the real identity, the real self, this is called self-realization, and that is the general aim. Whoever treads into the path of spirituality, we want to realize ourselves. Why? Because we want to be unaffected in life. We don't want affliction. Whatever comes in the life, we must be able to remain afloat, stable. So this is what we know from our gurus, from our scriptures, and that is what we aim at. Now to have the self-realization, the self is already there, the soul is there. And the soul is there with all its characteristics, which does not change. That is, whatever change takes place outside us, it should not make us feel afflicted or affected. But we do not know it. Now, the self or the soul gets revealed when the mind is absolutely quiet, calm. And I told you, it's all in our scriptures, that suppose there is a mirror which is very well polished, we can see our face very clearly. But suppose the same mirror, the polish has gone off, or the mirror is a little dusty, we will not see ourselves properly. Another example which I gave was a vessel of water, clear water. We put a pebble and we look into the water, we can see the pebble very clearly. But suppose the water is given some ripple and movement, or some mud is thrown into that, when the water becomes unclean, we won't see our face clearly. So the reflection is not clear. The soul or self, that also gets reflected in the mind. So if the mind is restless, the mind is agitated, the mind is disturbed, mind and intelligence both, then we will not understand the self which is our real I, our real identity, which is always there. We don't see it. We start thinking whatever is changeful outside, the body, mind, intelligence, etc., we feel that is the I. This mistake keeps on continuing with us. So it is absolutely necessary that we make our mind calmer and calmer, purer and purer, not only calm. Say ripple is one thing. That is, I gave an example, the water, clean water is given ripple. That is, you have given a disturbance. Then also the pebble will not be seen, or if you look into the water, earlier you could see your own reflection, you will not be able to see it. Another is, if it is impure, suppose some earth or mud or dust is thrown into the water becomes impure. Then also you will not be able to see. So the mind also has to be undisturbed. It has to be pure. Then only the self will reveal itself and will be able to realize the self. Now what is happening, all of us who are in spiritual path, we know about the self. We have that knowledge that there is something which we want to realize. We don't have much idea about it. It is very abstract. We only get to know the characteristics and qualities of the self, but we don't know. To know that, what do we have to do? That is one problem. Another thing is that even if we know, how do we go about it? That is another thing. So last session we saw in Bhagavad Gita what Krishna has told Arjuna, what are the qualities we should acquire and we should imbibe so that the mind is not disturbed. Mind is very, very peaceful, calm, and many qualities we saw. First on we saw, I'll just go through it. We saw Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. It's a very good quality. That is, we should be free of any kind of hatred, anger towards anybody. That is, our mind becomes disturbed because our mind, we are always either getting irritated, or we have blame towards somebody, or we have find out fault with somebody, criticize somebody. We are not satisfied with somebody's behavior or talk. So Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. This is a very good quality which we must acquire. And see, the self-realization, as whatever I explain, all of you know it actually. But we are thinking of something, the self, which is not that suddenly one day in the morning we find that we have realized the self. We have to walk towards it. And these are the steps how we can walk towards the self-realization. So, how to make the mind nice, calm and restful. Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. All of us should practice it. Then Maitraha Karuna. We should be friendly to everybody. If we look into ourselves, we find that we are not friendly to everybody. We are friendly to some people. We are not friendly to all. But for any spiritual aspirant or seeker, this is another quality which we should try to imbibe. Friendly towards all. The person whom I like, whom I don't know, to that person also. And those who are already friendly, definitely our friendship should remain. Then karuna. Karuna is compassion, mercy. Then nirmamaha. We should be free of possessiveness. That possessiveness brings about a lot of disturbance in the mind. In all our relationships, all our acquisitions, the possessiveness, we do not want to leave it. The possessiveness of the parents with the children, and anybody with their possessions, we do not, even if we have lot of it, lot of money, lot of dress, lot of food, we are not able to share it with others. This is what a spiritualist should do. Whatever you have, you share with others. Share with others. Swamiji was chanting that shloka, Paropakaraya phalanti vrikshaha. In nature, you see, look at the trees, the cows, the rivers. The trees are always giving us fruit. And they are bearing fruit for whom? For others. They do not eat their own fruit. Even if you cut a branch of a mango tree, next season you will find it will again give mangoes to us. It will not say that, why did you cut my branch? I will not give you mango anymore. It doesn't say. And the nature is such. All of us, we are product of nature. So, the mango tree will give some. Similarly, the water of the rivers. The river do not drink their own water. The river water is only for others, for all cultivation, agriculture, everything. It glows. So, and see the cows, the animals, the cows will give us milk. It doesn't drink its own milk. Similarly, there are small shlokas which are called subhashitam. They give these values. Very small, 2 lines. It has given us so much of knowledge. What? That, see, look around in the nature. You will find that all the things in the nature, whether it is trees or flowers, whether they are animals, whether it's river or any other lake or anything, they only exist to help others. Similarly, human body also, nature has made us like this, but we become very selfish. We become very possessive. We feel that first I will enjoy and then only if it is there I will give. Even if it is there, we don't give. This is what we do. So even if we have many, we will still acquire more. And our mind is why dissatisfied, constantly, not contented. Whatever we get, we are not satisfied. Always there is an expectation and desire, more. So once we step into that spiritual line, we get to hear this. The mind should expand. We should share things with everybody and see to it that whatever is our little need, after that whatever is there in the Shastras, it is written how the householders should share, how they should do dana, what percentage of their income they should give to the society. All are there. But unfortunately, we are not taught this right from our childhood. No education center. Even our parents, elders, they don't tell us because they don't know. But how fortunate one is when one gets to hear these things. Actually, all who listen to these things, they are very, very blessed. So anyway, I was reading this, nirmamaha, nirahankaraha, that is, one should not be egoistic, one should be equal-minded to unhappiness and happiness, one should be forbearing, should be forgiving and excusing. Many times we are not able to be so, and our mind gets disturbed. For if something happens with somebody for 3-4 days, the mind will be even longer. mind will be very disturbed. We are not able to forgive. Then santushtaha satatam. Always we should be contented. And if we look at this, these things, I have told the other day also, that when we read this, first of all, they should be so enlightening. Every word is so enlightening. And it compels us to compare notes with oneself. Am I so? Am I so? Can I become like this? This constant note of comparison should be there. So, santushta satatam. Am I satisfied? You tell me. Are you always satisfied? Satatam. I think any of you can lift up your hand if you are constantly satisfied. Nobody is. But why? She's raising her hand. Okay, very good if you are. But I would tell you to go deep into yourself. Deep into yourself. Like I said, that we are not satisfied. We always want even these subtle things. I should be loved. People should talk nicely to me. People should praise me. People should acknowledge what I have done. Don't you have these? Try to. Try and attaining is different. So when we also introspect, we should be very true to ourselves. Very true. So, santushta satatam yogi yatatma dridhanischayah. That one should be a yogi that is constantly united and with senses and mind should be restrained, well restrained. Mai arpita mano buddhihi yo madbhaktaha same priyaha. There is a mistake there. Yo madbhaktaha. And the mind and buddhi, everything should be absolutely surrendered to God, surrendered to the Supreme. Here God and the Supreme. See, one thing. Here Krishna is telling Arjuna. Who is this Krishna? Krishna there in the battlefield is definitely the embodied person who has become Krishna. But he has all the qualities of the Supreme Power. And that is what he says in the second chapter. What is the Supreme Power? The Self, the Brahman, where it is imperishable, changeless, eternal. It cannot be cut, it cannot be dried up, it cannot be severed in anything. It cannot be wetted. It is always there. It cannot be divided. And it is the one which enlivens everything. It is a consciousness. So, he says that, Mai arpita mano buddhi. What does that mean? That is, the mind should be constantly surrendered to the Supreme Power. The Supreme Power from whom this whole world emerges, which sustains the world and also which dissolves the world. See, in Bhagavad Gita, what is the definition of Supreme? It is in 9th chapter, 18th verse. Gatir bharta prabhu sakshi nivasa sharanam surit prabhava pralayasthanam nidhanam bijam abhyayam. It says the Supreme is the goal, where we want to reach. What is the goal? The goal which is eternal, imperishable. We want to become like that. We don't understand actually eternal, imperishable. We understand one thing. We don't want to become affected. We don't want to become frightened. We want to be absolutely fearless. We also want to become unaffected in life. So it says, the Supreme is the goal, the sustainer, Prabhu, Bharta. Prabhu, it is the Lord, and it is Sakshi, it is the witness. It is the ultimate abode. It is the refuge, benefactor friend, the source, terminus, substratum, the treasure house, and the imperishable seed of all. This is the Supreme. We are not considering any figure of God or goddess. We are considering that power from where this whole earth has got expressed, the whole universe has got expressed, and which sustains the universe, and who has the power to dissolve it also. That supreme power, because of which the universe, this whole universe is in action, it is going on and on and on. Because of which we are existing, because of which we have got this body-mind complex and we are able to work and we are active. That supreme power. So, understanding that there is such a power which enlivens us, makes us do actions, we should be always very grateful to it. Always understand. But what we do, whatever we do, we feel that I have done. I have done. But can you tell if that one supreme power has not willed it, can we do anything? A mother becomes pregnant, a girl becomes pregnant. She will eat well, she is looked after well. But when the child is born, is anybody sure whether the child will be a healthy child, whether the child will be a weak child, whether the child will be of intelligence, or the child will be a retarded child? Can we do anything? We cannot do. So, this is the power which, but we have to. So, in Bhagavad Gita it says that we cannot do anything. We will make our whole effort in anything that we do, but there is a fifth factor called Panchamam, which is the providence. So then what to do? Should we leave all our effort? No. We have to make effort. But if the Panchamam factor, the Daivam, that becomes more prominent and we do not get the result as we have wanted, to accept it, to even-mindedly take it, that is where we should do our spiritual knowledge should help us. We should be doing that. So this is what. So yes, that last session I had told similar slokas where it is to build up the personality where these are all spiritual qualities which we must have to make our mind calm. And why are we making the mind calm? Again, go back. Because we want to realize the self. We don't want to be disturbed. We want to be that changeless self. That is, our changeless self is already revealed inside. But there is a big curtain. Curtain by what? By our desires, by our expectations, by all our undesirable traits like intolerance, impatience, irritation, anger, hatred, fault finding. All those are undesirable traits which are not allowing us to see ourselves and be united with it. We want to be united. Why? Because everywhere we do not want any kind of affectation. We want to always become happy, always become peaceful. This is our idea. In the very simple, that I will be self-realized, that is a very big goal and very abstract goal. But everybody wants to become happy and peaceful. That everybody wants. Not only happy and peaceful, how will you become happy and peaceful if you do not have any fear? If you do not have any affectation? So, whether it is a child or an old person, whether men, women, everybody wants to become fearless, non-affected, and happy and peaceful in life. So we are starting like this. These qualities are absolutely necessary. These I was taking from 12th chapter. Now, I thought I will take some from the 13th chapter. Let me see. It says, one particular sloka is there, which says, Yo na krishyati na dveshti na shochati na kangshati shubha parityagi bhaktimanya same priyaha. This is also 12th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, 17th verse. Yo na krishyati na dveshti na shochati, na kankshati, shubha parityagi, bhaktiman yah same priyaha. So, Krishna is telling Arjuna that I have told you these things you must do. You must have no hatred for anybody. You should be kind, you should be friendly, you must not have possessiveness, you must be equal to happiness and unhappiness, you must be forbearing, ever contented, integrated, your mind, your senses and mind should be restrained, and you should be having firm conviction or firm resolve. The firm resolve is very essential. See, I am telling you about these qualities. You must have firm resolve. Resolve for what? I should have these qualities. Okay, I have come, I have heard, very nice. Go and forget. No. You must have this dridha nischayatva, that whatever good I am hearing, I should try to acquire those. If it was not acquirable, then Arjuna would not be told by Krishna. It is only in the battlefield that Krishna is talking to Arjuna. And Arjuna must have these qualities, or if he doesn't have, he must acquire them in such a short time. If it was not possible, why should Krishna say? And through Arjuna, Krishna is telling everybody in the whole world that please have these qualities. If these qualities are yours, then what will happen? Your mind will slowly become calm, and you will be able to experience eternal peace, eternal happiness. So, it says that as Yona Hrishyati na dveshti. Now he comes and says that he who does not get elated by something which has happened very good. Whenever something happens which we had expected and it has happened like that, according to our expectation, we become elated. And Krishna is saying, but you should not be so. You should not be unduly happy. Yes, something has happened, it has come. Similarly, you should not resent if something unfavourable comes your way. That is, something favourable and what you expected has happened, you become very happy. But what will happen? How long will you enjoy that? And again another something will come which you have not expected. So Krishna is warning that, see, you should not become unduly happy. You should not become unduly resentful when something does not happen according to your expectation. Na shochati. You should not unduly grieve. Even grieving should not be undue. Yes, something has happened, something unfavourable has happened, something sad situation has come. We will cry, weep, but not unduly. Get up. Whatever is to be done, after that, do that. You should not, so many people come to us. There are people who just would not get out of their grief. They will not. However much we try to explain to them, sympathize with them, tell them words of solace, but it is as if they are getting joy out of the sorrow. They would not like to get up, get out of that ocean of sorrow that is going on. So neither grieves, na kankshati, and also unduly don't desire. Whatever comes, accept it. But always wanting more and more and more. That is, become satisfied by whatever comes. Whatever you deserve, that will come, you accept it. Shubha ashubha parityagi. That is, whatever is, never look for only auspiciousness. Auspiciousness and inauspiciousness. You should be equal to both. Sometimes some auspicious things will happen, sometimes it will not happen. And bhaktiman, full of devotion. You fill your mind with devotion. What is devotion? We all know what is devotion. Many times it happens that our minds are full of devotion, and sometimes it is not also. How do we express what is devotion? Devotion is something which the mind automatically starts experiencing For whom? For somebody, for God generally, who is much, much superior than us. We feel that He is the protector. He is our refuge. He blesses us. He looks after everything. So that kind of a devotion, that devotion also, we should be constantly growing. What is that? Bhaktiman. Devotion also, we should always see that our devotion is not with motive. That is, without motive, we should be having devotion. People generally will go to the temples and give puja, asking for what? My family should be all right. My daughter should be married. My son should be going to foreign country to either to get a job or study. All these things. We have given a puja and then we are asking for these blessings. That is what? That is devotion with motive. Not that. Nothing I want from you. I cannot but have devotion for you. That is devotion, true devotion. Aheituki apratihata bhakti. In Bhagavatam it says, Aheituki apratihata. That is, aheituki means without any motive. Without any motive, I love you, O God. I understand your glory, your magnificence, what you are, I belong to you. Although I just cannot gauge who you are, but I know that you are. This kind of a feeling. I don't want anything from you. And apratihata, that is, we are having devotion, but something happened which is unfavourable and we lose all our devotion to God. That also happens. Many people, they will not go to the temples anymore. They say, I will not light lamp anymore. Why this happened? Why God did this to me? So devotion, what we normally think, devotion can be made true and pure by all these spiritual and devotional practices. What? By enlightenment. When we learn all these things, we understand, our devotion is very much motivated devotion. It is a lower kind of devotion. I want to grow to that kind of devotion like Prahlada. He was always had devotion. He was not thinking why my father is scolding me, why my father is wanting to murder me. Still his love and devotion, it never became less. And not only that, he had such devotion, he always felt that Sri Hari is embracing him from all sides. I think all of us would like to have that kind of a feeling, where we feel a divinity constantly surrounding us. So, when we hear all these things, not only that we like to hear, our feeling should be that how and when can we have it? So, why do we like to hear this? Because when we hear, at least for those moments, the mind feels very, very light and relaxed. We feel, this can be achieved, this can be acquired. Just like Prahlada felt Govinda Parirambhitaha, that is the word. Govinda Parirambhitaha. Govinda is, embracing him. I think when I first read it, I felt that, I also want that kind of a feeling around me. And how do I do it? How can I do it? And we'll always find that when, say, this is a satsang. The satsang we will listen, or we go to temples and we worship. We read ourselves, or we listen, we contemplate. Those moments become very divine. Those moments become very good. But as soon as we go into the world and worldly activities, slowly, that feeling diminishes. So the question is, how do we keep the feeling always? Say, now here in SIRD, Swamiji has come, it's a festival. Everybody is happy, going, coming, we're taking prasada, whatever arrangements to be done, even though there is lack of rest, lack of sleep, lack of many things, but still we are all very happy. Why? Why it is so? Because, first of all, the association with a Satpurusha, association with a person who has realized and who is in that plane. Whatever he speaks, it takes us, our mind, and transports us to high levels. And secondly, when there is a festival, we forget everything. We don't remember anything. We feel very relaxed, love to each other, always ready to do service, help each other. All that happens. But why is it that it doesn't happen otherwise? That is a question. So today I thought I will teach you one shloka, which many of you know. That is how we have to be active. In action, see, everybody has to be active. Everybody. Whether one is from the household, and today we are really very happy, Swamiji, you have come here, and we are together listening to these things. So, everybody, whether one is in an ashram or in a household, we are active. Right from the morning, we get up and we never stop. So, there is a very beautiful shloka which, if we can remember, then we can preserve this divinity and auspiciousness always. What is a very beautiful shloka. Lokesha Chaitanyamaya Shrikanta Vishnu Bhavadakyayaiva Pratah Samuthaya Tava Priyartham
Pratah Samuthaya Tava Priyartham
Samsara Yatram Anuvartayishe
Samsara Yatra Anuvartayishe
Lokesha Chaitanyamaya
Lokesha Chaitanyamaya
Shrikanta Vishnu Bhavadakyayaiva
Shrikanta Vishnu Bhavadakyayaiva
Pratah Samuthaya Tava Priyartham
Pratah Samuthaya Tava Priyartham
Samsara Yatram Anuvartayishe
Samsara Yatra Anuvartayishe.
See here, the devotee is calling out to God with various names. Why various names? Because he loves God. We also call our children with various names. With lot of fondness we will give. The sister will call by some name. The mother will call by some name. The grandparents will call with some name. So, here also the devotee is calling Krishna, calling God with various names. Lokesha, that is, oh, the controller of the world. Isha means the controller. And Chaitanyamaya. And this controller, we see, he is of the nature of consciousness. Adideva, he is actually the primordial being. O Mahavishnu, Vishnu, then Shrikanta, the consort of Shri, Lakshmi. So with various names he has called. Calling, what is he saying? He is saying, Bhavat Ajnayaiva, Bhavat Ajnaya. By your wish or your command alone. Pratah Samuthaya. I have got up in the morning. He calls God by various names and then says, by your command alone, I get up in the morning. Is it not true? When we lie on the bed, say at night, we are very tired or not tired, we sleep. And we have laid down. Our head is on the pillow. Can we say that the moment at which point our eyes close and we get into sleep, is it under our control? It is not. We don't know. And similarly, when we get up also, we do not know when we will get up. Sometimes we are keeping alarm and getting up according to the alarm. But exactly at what moment our eyes will open, that is not in our hand. All these are being propelled by, commanded by another force, the power, the supreme power, which has created this universe, which is sustaining it and which will dissolve it also. So, the devotee is calling and saying, by your power alone, I get up in the morning and I go to sleep. So when I get up in the morning, I find that the whole day, that is, you have given me one more day in my life. And the whole day is there. So many work will be there. The work can be some work I like to do, I am eager to do, I am waiting to do. Some are not at all to my liking. But since I understand that as you have made me get up by your power, your command, similarly by your command alone, whatever comes to me in the day, good, bad, favourable, not favourable, whatever comes, that also is according to your command. I will do them. And I will do them tava priyartham. See? Third line. Pratas samuthaya tava priyartham. I will do them. Not only I will perform all work, which I like, which I dislike, everything that comes, to make you pleased. For your pleasure alone I will work. Because I have understood that it is you who has made me, you who are bringing everything to me, whether I do this work, that work, what will be my condition, everything depends on you and your wish. So naturally, whatever comes my way, I will not do half-heartedly. I will do it with full heart, full effort. Excellently I will do. And I will tread this path of samsara. That is, I undertake this journey through worldly activities for the sake of your pleasure alone. Your pleasure alone. Why I am taking this sloka is, I think as a spiritual seeker, as a spiritual practitioner or aspirant, this one shloka is very, very important. To constantly remain connected to that supreme power. Whatever we do, right in the morning we'll get up, we will make our bed, tidy our bed, then go to the bathroom, brush our teeth, maybe take bath, then take breakfast. Somebody will be cooking, somebody will be just eating. Go to your profession, your school, college, anywhere you go. Whatever you do, till night, whatever we are doing, every moment, if you can remember this, very simple thing, that you have given it. And so I will try to do, without any yo na krishyati na dveshti. I am combining the two. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, what is he saying? That don't be unduly pleased. Oh, today God has given me a good work. Today this is the work that I always wanted to do. I always wanted to do, so I have done. I have got it. No, don't be unduly happy. Because whatever comes, it goes away also. So remain with equanimity. Be grateful that what you wanted has come, but not too much. And not dveshti. Don't resent it. Suppose some work has come which we don't like at all. But still we have to do. So don't resent it. Don't grieve. If such a thing you have to do day after day maybe. Sometimes day after day. Some cases are a person in the house, an old person is very old. Only the wife, she is also old, having to look after the old husband. Very, very difficult, day after day. How will those minds be peaceful? Only when we think all these things, contemplate on these knowledge, contemplate and try to acquire this knowledge, then the mind becomes steady. Many things, many griefs we are able to, whatever we are expecting, suppose we don't get, we'll be able to still steer through. So, he says that I undertake this journey through worldly activities. So this one thought, that tava priyartham, for your pleasure alone, I take up every activity and I go through this samsara yatra. That is the worldly journey that I am facing. Then what will happen? We will remain connected to the Lord, to God. So does this mean anything? Will you be doing it? Or do you do it? Now, you can ask question if you want to. Any question? So in this, we have seen in this shloka that we can remain connected to God by thinking like this. Now, what is this connection to God? What is this connection to God? Say when we are in a satsang, say this is a satsang. What is happening in the satsang? Why it is called satsang? In the satsang what happens is that we come to hear about the truth. We keep on hearing about the truth. And in other worldly situations, what we will hear? We'll hear about each other's family, children, work, profession, promotion, or some loss which has happened in the business, all those things, political situations. Here, constantly we'll be hearing about God, hearing about the soul, hearing about the self, and what God means, how we can have godly qualities, how we can be equal with even-mindedness in all kind of situation in the life. All these things will be constantly hearing. And when we hear, what happens? When we hear, then it is, Bhagavatam says, as we keep on hearing, say somebody has come newly, hears, he feels that, something, as long as I was sitting there, I did not think of anything, any of my problems. So comes the next day to hear. So, what is happening? Shraddha, Rati and Bhakti slowly starts growing. What is the Shraddha? To have a liking to hear this. Then Rati, the love for hearing grows, love for God, love for the self grows, and then devotion grows. So this is why the satsang is necessary. So in satsang what happens? When we hear this, we must also have the feeling, when we hear, how to become like that. So I'm saying that God is everywhere. We just now read one sloka from Bhagavad Gita. The God is everywhere. God is the refuge. God is the one who creates and sustains and dissolves. So who is this God? Prahlada felt him everywhere. Why is it that I am not feeling? And what is this self-realization? All these thoughts may come to the mind. And when it comes, what our scriptures say is that not only that God is inside you, God is everywhere else. It is the self, you are the self, you are not the body, and the same self is everywhere. Same self is everywhere. So, if we have to keep this divine feeling, or the festive feeling, or the auspicious feeling, which, say, all of us are having in the association of a Mahatma, or in the association of Satsang, whatever divine feelings we are having, if we have to preserve this, what we have to do? We have to see God everywhere. How will we do that? How will we do that? So it is not only that our aim is to see the self, our own self, realize the self, understanding that I am the self. it is also to see the same self everywhere. That is a habit. That habit, that practice one must develop. How will you develop? Adveshta sarvabhutanam. Understand that everywhere God is. So how can you, if God alone is everywhere, God is one. If God alone is everywhere, the self or soul or Brahman is everywhere, then when only one is there, how can there be any hatred? Can there be? There is a book lying here. It is different from me. Since I am thinking that it is different from me, then comes the question, I want the book or I don't want the book. When only one thing is there, then is there any question of liking, fearing, hating, criticizing? Nothing is there. But how will we think? For me, all these are different names and forms. So constantly the mind should think about it, contemplate about it, that everything is God. Yat sarvatra tadikshanam. Prahlada told his friends that, oh my friends, we should learn to see God everywhere, in everything. We should learn to see. So, this is in any seeker's life, this should be the one practice. What is the practice? See, it is very, very interesting that when we hear or listen or we read, we practice also. The practice should be wholesome. What is the wholesomeness? As first of all, the mind should start feeling that these things, the spiritual talks, the spirituality, devotion, all that is giving me more joy than it gives otherwise. And slowly we grow into it. We grow into these qualities and other things. There is a sloka which is Nastha dharmena vasunichaye naiva kamopabhoge yad bhavyam tad bhavatu bhagavan purva karmanurupam yetat prarthyam mama bahumatam janma janmantarepi त्वत्पादाम्भोरुह युगगता निश्चला भक्तिरस्तु त्वत्पादाम्भोरुह युगगता निश्चला भक्तिरस्तु. What is this sloka? Even if we are in the spiritual path, how much we are practicing will be determined by how much the love for God is increasing and how much the love for worldly thing is decreasing. One must make an assessment. Here is a devotee who says, Nastha dharme na vasunichaye naiva kamopabhoge. He says that I have no faith in all the dharma, that what we have been told, all the injunctions and everything. I do not want to hear about that. I do not want to practice that. Nastha dharmena vasunichaye naiva kamopabhoge. I do not want property and other things. And I do not want to enjoy many things. Yad bhavyam tad bhavatu bhagavan purva karmanurupam. Let, as I have taken birth and I am living, whatever comes my way, I will do that. Yetat prarthyam mama bahumatam janma janmantarepi. So he says, that bhakta is saying, that devotee is saying, that I do not have interest in anything else now. My interest has come away from enjoying worldly things. And I feel that whatever my life is, let it flow as it is flowing. But I have a prayer Hyetat prarthyam mama bahumatam janma janmantarepi tvat padambhoruha yugagata nischala bhaktirastu. It says that only one prayer I have. I find that I am becoming very disinterested. I want to only think of God. I want to only talk of God. I want to only contemplate on God. I find that many of my interests have gone. And I want that Janma Janmantarepi, for many, many lives, I want to only have Nischala Bhakti for you. Nastha dharme na vasunichaye naiva kamopabhoge yad bhavyam tad bhavatu bhagavan purva karmanurupam. Hyetat prarthyam. So, I am having this prayer. What is the prayer? The prayer is Janma Janmantarepi. In all my lives, life after life, Tvat Padambhoruha Yugagata Nischala Bhaktirastu. Let at your holy feet, may I have Nischala Bhakti. What is Nischala Bhakti? The bhakti, the devotion which does not deviate or deflect. It should be steady. Steady. Let my devotion be steady, unflinching devotion to thy lotus feet. Let me have that. So, why I took this? In our lives, though we are getting interested in spirituality, we may be hearing and practicing many things. This should be the attitude that may I have wholesomeness in this practice. That is, slowly I understand that this is the best, this is the supreme. See, in our life, we feel that we will get happiness from all outside things. If we get a house, if I can buy a house, I am happy. If my daughter gets married, I am happy. If I get a lot of money, I am happy. So we feel that all these things will give me happiness. But those are all short-lived pleasures. Short-lived. Bhagavad Gita says, Arjuna is being told by Sri Krishna, Yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate adyantavantah kaunteya nate shuramate buddha. Yehi samsparshaja bhoga. What is our personality? We have got senses. The body is there, mind is there, intelligence is there, ego is there. And our senses are constantly going out. Going out and showing us what? See, so many things are there to enjoy. So many things are there. Come, enjoy. It does not allow us to look inside. Does not allow us to look inside where there is a constant fountain of joy, which does not depend on anything. That is the soul. It says that, see, X, Y, Z, so many things are there. And the senses, if they are not controlled, the mind also goes behind it and we try to enjoy. But all those enjoyments are what? Adyantavantaha. Those are there and they become the end also. Good food, how long will you take food? How long will you wear good dresses? How long will you enjoy your health? Everything goes. So adyantavantaha, adi and anta. Adi means beginning is there and end is there. So all those sukhas, all those happinesses are short-lived. They will appear and disappear. Appear and disappear. But there is a fountain of joy. Swasmin sada kridati nandati swayam nirantaranandarasena triptaha. If we look inside, we'll find that there is a fountain of joy. And that joy, it doesn't depend on anything, any external object. It depends only on me, my inside. And it says swasmin, that is inside me, sada, always, kridati nandati. We can rejoice and sport with that joy. And nirantaranandarasena. If we do that, Nirantara means without any stopping, ceaselessly, continuously. There is a joy. It just wells forth. It is there. Since we do not look inside, do not look for it, we do not get it. And if we can look, if we do look, if we only want that, what will happen? Triptaha. Nirantar ananda rasena. Ananda is no delight. Rasa is what? Nectar. So that nectarine delight is there inside, drinking which, getting drenched by which, getting soaked by which, we will become triptaha, contented. Because of lack of contentment, we are always unhappy, dissatisfied. We are always wanting more, 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 more. Even if everything is there, still we are not happy. There is something which we want. There is a very beautiful shloka by Bhartrihari which shows how this life is full of fear. Many of you know that. Bhoge roga bhayam. If you have many things to enjoy, you have many things, but there will be, suppose there is disease, gone. So there is always, I have everything, but always a fear that suppose either myself or somebody in the family gets diseased, then I cannot enjoy anything. Bhoge roga bhayam kule chuti bhayam. Suppose you belong to a very good family, always there is a fear that the name will be tarnished by somebody or other in the family. Vitte nipalad bhayam. And if you have a lot of money, always there is a fear whether there will be robbery or theft. Mane dainya bhayam. If you have lot of qualifications or honor, then there is a fear that you may be insulted. You may not be respected. Mane dainya bhayam, gune khala bhayam, rupe jaraya bhayam. I don't know, I'm getting mixed up. So, there is mane dainya bhayam, bale ripu bhayam. Suppose you are very strong, then there is a fear of enemy. Enemy may be stronger than you. Rupe jaraya bhayam. And when we are youthful and we are looking beautiful, there will be always a fear. Suppose I become old. So one grey hair, one wrinkle, you will be gone. Shastre vadi bhayam. And if you are learned, you have a lot of learning, there will be always a feeling that suppose somebody is better than you, they may compete you and you become, they are able to defeat you. If you have debate and all that, they will defeat you. Gune khalabhayam. If you have a lot of very good values and virtues, then there is always a feeling that somebody or other will vilify you. Kaye kritantad bhayam. And when we have a body, there is a feeling that I have to die. Either I or somebody else, near and dear one. So always there is a fear of death. So these three lines are showing everything is enveloped with fear. See, sarvam vastu bhayanvitam bhuvirinam vairagyam eva abhayam. So it says everything is smeared with fear. Everything. See, when we have something we like, we want it, we get it, then also there is a fear. What is the fear? Suppose I lose. Suppose you have acquired a lot of money. Always there is a fear either how to make it grow or suppose I lose it. So is there any time, any kind of peace in the mind? So it says, Sarvam vastu bhayanvitam bhuvininam. For mankind, everywhere there is fear. Without fear, there is nothing. So, Bhartrihari says, Vairagyam eva abhayam. What is abhaya? Vairagya. Vairagya means, here it doesn't mean that you have to go, leave everything and go to the forest or you become a sannyasin. Vairagya means having that acceptance. Whatever comes, it's okay. Don't unduly desire. Whatever you get by providence, be satisfied, be contented. That is what it is being said. So, I was telling you of the shloka, Yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate. So it says the senses are always going out, trying to get happiness from here, there, everywhere. But they are dukkha yonaya. That is their womb of misery. Why? Because even if you get, you will be under fear. Suppose I lose it. Suppose you got something very good, it will break down. A big car is there, but the car breaks down. Or you have bought a gadget is constantly giving you problem. It happens many times. Many times you go and get it repaired, but still it doesn't work. So anything that we get, it is mixed with fear. Dukkha yonaya, it is a womb of misery. We have to introspect. The previous day I said that as spiritual seekers, our main work is to apply our mind and intelligence, introspect, that is think. All the scriptures, they are telling us these things to make us introspect, that is make us think that everything is, nothing will give us permanent happiness and peace in this world. Only what will give. So it says, dukkha yonaya evate. Adyantavantah Kaunteya. Hey Kaunteya, Arjuna's name is Kaunteya also. So, hey Kaunteya, they are having beginning and end. They will appear and disappear. Nate shuramate buddhaha. Buddhaha, the wise people, they do not feel, they do not rejoice in this. They do not rejoice. Because they introspect. They think. The wise people, they apply their mind and intelligence and they understand that these are not going to give me any happiness. So what should we do? We should try to make our mind calm, try to walk towards the self which is not changing at all, attaining which, again Bhagavad Gita says, yam labdhva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tataha yasmin sthito na dukkhena guruna api vichalyate. So it says that yam labdhva, that attaining which, that soul state, attaining which one will feel that there is nothing more to attain. Also, remaining where, even if very big adversity comes, one will not be affected. This is a promise that Krishna gives. So what should be our idea? To grow towards that. And when we go towards that, we cannot jump immediately to that state. We have to go through small steps and take account of everything. What Krishna says is that you have to be active. So how will you act? He says that do everything, but do not cling to the result. Do work excellently with dakshata. You should be excellent in work. But how the result will be, even if it is not according to your satisfaction, be even towards it. Do not cling to, I must have this. Anything, if we cling, whether it is to our family people or whatever work we do, to the result, any clinging is bad, gives suffering. So, when we hear satsangs, slowly, by repeated listening, if we listen sincerely, all these things enter our personality. And we also, even if we do not understand a big change suddenly, we will find that yes, we are able to face the world gloriously, victoriously. See, you are very, very blessed from at this young age. Today, the other youngsters are not there. Where they are gone, I don't know. Huh? Oh, school is over. Oh. So they have gone to school and maybe homework is there. So this is what the children's cultural heritage class, the children, if they should attain. Actually, these are not taught to us. These are not taught to us. What is not taught? Say, it is not taught to us the strength of the mind, the potential of the mind, that if we have this kind of attitude, that I will not be unduly affected by anything, either elated or not, or depressed. I will not cling to anything. I will put my whole effort. I will be, and all other, good values. Good values, of course, we learn. But this thing, that you should be even to whatever comes in our life. That thing, the samatva. All these are not taught. It is not taught in our schools or colleges, university, anywhere. So, when, say, a very good student has entered the examination hall and finds that the question paper is very tough, how much nervous one becomes. Nobody has taught us in the schools or colleges how to handle that nervousness. At that time, what we should do. We are only taught our subjects. And it is such this vidya, this spiritual knowledge is such that it takes care of all these things. Takes care. Only when we start understanding this, coming to such association, we understand that what a great knowledge to refine our mind, to refine our intelligence, and to go about in this world victoriously, without getting afraid. You know this sloka, no? Akashavat lepa vidura goham, Akashavallepa vidura goham, Adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham. I'll chant it. Akashavallepa vidura goham, Adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham, Aharyavan nitya vinischanoham, Ambodhivat paravivarjitoham. Akashavallepa vidura goham. That is, it is talking about the self, the soul. Our real identity is that. In our real identity, I'm like the space, changeless, taintless, no taint. Like suppose I draw with my finger or a stick, I draw on the earth, on the ground, a mark will come. Suppose similarly I draw on water. As long as we take our hand, a mark will come and again it will be erased. Space, however much we write, no mark comes, no taint is there. So, Akashavallepa vidura goham. I am like the Akasha, the space, taintless I am. No taint is there. To live in that knowledge, not only knowing it, not only chanting it, whenever there is some situation where we find that I am getting affected, what is our affectation? Affectation is through behavior, interaction, somebody's words, some situation. So when that happens, we should remember this. Akashavallepa vidura goham. Aham is I. I am like the space, taintless space. Adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham. And I am like the Aditya, the sun. The sun is always brilliant. It is always brilliant, always bright. There is no darkness in sun. So I am also like that. My mind is also like that. So in our day-to-day life, many times it happens that we feel depressed, we feel very dissatisfied, we feel we feel lack of hope and confidence. The mind will become dark, as if there is no solution to the problems. At that time, this line, Adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham, like the sun, I am always bright, brilliance. That is my real identity. I will not allow the external condition overpower me, because this is my real identity. And if we chant it few times, we'll find that we will get that power. Aharyavan nitya vinischaloham. Aharyam is a mountain. Like a mountain, however much we push it, we cannot move it at all. So, inside my real identity is like that. It is aharyavat. It is like the mountain. I cannot be moved. I cannot be moved by any situation in my life. Good, bad, favourable, unfavourable, anything. It may look that I am getting moved, but internally I am not. I will not allow it. And ambodhivat para vivarjitoham, just like the ambodhi means the ocean. As the ocean, we cannot even see its other shore, boundaryless it is, that like my mind is like that, boundaryless. I am so expansive. So whenever the mind starts feeling selfish, narrow, mean-minded, I should remind myself that I am like that. So these are the actual treasures that we must collect, We go after worldly objects, money, jewelry, and gadgets, and assets. We think those are our security. Our securities are these, which will make us fearless in front of everything. Fearlessness, can anything give us? Can money give us fearlessness? Can property give us fearlessness? We cannot even write a check and go and buy fearlessness. But fearlessness can be given like this. With all this, this is our treasure. And you know how one becomes deserving to have this knowledge. One becomes deserving. There is the shloka which we chant in our daily satsangs. Janmaneka shataish tadadarayuja bhaktya samaradhito bhaktair vaidika lakshanena vidhina santushta isha swayam. Sakshat Shri Guru Rupametya Kripaya Driggochara San Prabhu Tatvam Sadhu Vibodhya Tarayati Tan Samsara Dukkharnavat. That is when we slowly grow interest and fondness for this knowledge. We start worshipping God. We become fond of God. We start talking to Him. He becomes our own. We consider Him that I belong to you. I am yours and you are mine. Nothing else is more dear to me. So when we worship Him like this, for hundreds and hundreds of lives, according to the Vedic conjunctions, and with lot of devotion and love and respect, when we do that, God becomes pleased with us. Pleased with that devotee. Till now, the devotee was worshipping what? Either one image made of stone or wood or something like that, or a photograph. He was worshipping that only, which the deity or idol will not be able to give reply to anything. The devotee may be saying many things to God, but the deity doesn't reply back. So now when God becomes pleased, he feels that Santushta Isha Swayam, God becomes pleased. So he now feels that I must do something for this devotee. Sakshat Shri Guru Rupametya Kripaya Driggocharas San Prabhu. So he to bless the devotee with grace, he takes the form of a human guru. God himself comes in front of him. He is the guru. Driggochara, he becomes revealed. He reveals himself as a human guru. And why? Now the devotee can ask questions, whatever he has been asking, wanting to know. Now, as a human being, he can reply to everything. So he understands what the devotee needs. Tattvam sadhu vibodhya. He then gives him tattva jnana. He tells him, see, all your sufferings are because you consider yourself to be this body. Body, mind, intelligence complex. You do not know that you are the changeless, unaffected soul. You know this. You have to realize this. And he says that to do this, drop your desires. Drop all your possessiveness. Drop all your ego. And have these qualities. Loving everybody, being friendly to everybody, being straightforward, have truthfulness, have even-mindedness. All that we took from 12th chapter, and many others are there. All these qualities you try to imbibe. That will lead you to dropping of desires, dropping of possessiveness, dropping of ego. Your mind will become calm and yourself will reveal itself. And all your sufferings will be gone. This is what he does. That is the role of a guru. Role of any guru, any Mahatma, any Mahapurusha. This is what he does. Okay? Sampurnam Jagadeva Nandanavanam Sarvepi Kalpadrumaha Gangam Vari Samasta Vari Nivaha Punya Samasta Kriyaha Vacha Prakrita Samskrita Shrutishiro Varanasi Medini Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishte Parabrahmani Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishte Parabrahmani.